Alright, welcome back to Roguetech, and welcome back to your first playthrough. So, we have Tonka. Tonka is not doing what we need Tonka to do. And the primary cause of that is this combat shield blocking all but two of our hard points. So, I'm thinking the solution here is going to be to drop the combat shield. And that will make it a punchy mech. We have a Mechwarrior to run a punchy mech. Specifically, in case anyone else has forgotten. It's Jelly Roll. Yes. So Jelly Roll is wait. Right? Is it not? It's not. It's Uranos. Yeah. So, Uranos is going to have 7.5% additional punch kick damage, 2 additional punches, always destabilizes on hit. So, he is going to make the punches super splashy, but in making them super splashy, he's also going to be, increasing the damage. So, it's going to be a very much shred all the armor type of punch, which also has, since the punch table rolls and doesn't really hit legs, he should have a pretty good chance of punching the face as well. And then with the square peg round hole, he will have max affinity on the stealth immediately. So, with that in mind, we need to make sure that we have 0 recoil on the mech, which actually means that we need to replace the snub-nosed PPC and put it on a mech with somebody who has at least 1 recoil reduction. So we're dropping that, we're dropping the combat shield. He will have the blue shield armor system to still reduce damage from energy attacks. The cockpit hot seat we can leave on, or we can take it off. And that really goes to, what other mech would we put the... Because I'm thinking with Dagger, we're going to use the 2-ton, or is it, the 2-ton Vibra Sword. And we're also likely going to use, since we haven't upgraded the structure yet, we're probably going to use the hybrid TSM. So we do not need the cockpit hot seat for Dagger. The hybrid TSM will give us 1.25 instead of 1.5 and 30 meter walk instead of 60 meter walk. But it's already going to be fast enough as a 30-ton mech to be able to get in and punch people with just that. So, where are we going to put the combat shield is the question. The line holder doesn't have hands. The bushwhacker doesn't have hands. The firestarter's an omni that's using all weapons across the board. The Phoenix Hawk has all of its weapons on either side. So I'm thinking the chameleon is going to be the recipient of the combat shield. Specifically because with just one side, we either have 3 energy and a ballistic available, or 3 energy and a support available. Which means we can make a effective build without using half of the mech. So if we go with a heavy ballistic, we can do that side, and if we go with AMS and heavier energy, we can go with the other side. No problem. So I think, actually wait, it does have hands on both sides, right? Yes, it does have hands on both sides. So yeah, I think the chameleon is where the combat shield is going to go once we build it. But for now, to make Tonka more effective, I think we are going to drop the combat shield. So now it is 100% a punchy boy. Actually, that's a question. If we have the combat shield on one hand, does that reduce our melee damage? Or does it make one punch not go off? Disables punching with installed arms. So would that mean... I'm not seeing anything about the melee damage. So would that mean that our melee damage... is this going to update actually? 135 becomes... 135. Okay. So if it doesn't... If the combat shield does not reduce the melee damage, but just prevents that hand from punching, that would actually make our 3 punches less splashy. Which is an interesting idea. definitely repair, max armor. So if we're keeping the combat shield, at least for now, to see how this works, then all we really need to do is drop the AMS, because it's not going to be able to fire whenever we had the combat shield active. Which means we have a little bit of extra tonnage. And if we tick that down, something like that. Or honestly, we could also go 1 down center torso and 1 down on each leg. Oh, not 1 down center? Oh, okay, okay. So yeah, it's going to be 0.99. That's fine. In any case, so that leaves us with 3 tons and no hard points we can use, which means we could potentially upgrade the snub nose up to the LBX. First of all, that's because again we want to drop the snub because it has the recoil, and Mr. Kung Pao Chicken does not have recoil reduction. And we don't have a Streak 6. I would definitely replace the SRM-6 Valiant with a Streak 6. Just for the extra accuracy and everything. Although we do want this Inferno ammo. We definitely want the Inferno ammo to put elsewhere. So... Wow, yeah, our options... See, this is exactly what I'm saying. Moving the combat shield is probably a good call. Because with it active, we only have, regardless of which hand it's on, 1 energy and 1 missile hardpoint. And that's problematic. And we are using TSM with the cockpit hot seat, so we can't use a mask. And also a mask wouldn't go well with the combat shield, because the combat shield, when it's active, you can only move, and the mask is only useful when you sprint. The LBX PPC quick sell is 4 recoil. So that's off the table, basically. I mean, there's the large pulse laser, which is 1 extra ton. It's less damage, yes, but it also doesn't have the damage fall off. So if we're shooting, it's not that big of a deal that it's, Oh, actually, it's only 480 meters, wow. But it is high accuracy, so... And then that leaves us with, we need a ton for ammo, because I don't think we have another half bin of SRM ammo. No, we do not. So we would need 1 ton for ammo, which would leave us with 1.5. How would we use 1.5 tons? I mean, we could replace the XL gyro, drop a little bit of tonnage like the searchlight, and then put the XL gyro somewhere else, but that doesn't feel great. Yeah, what do we do then? I mean, looking at the missile options we have, like the Thunderbolt 15 is way too heavy, and that's about it. I mean, then again, actually, hold on. Enhanced LRMs have no minimum range. Now, it is heavier, but that actually would allow us to... large lasers only 40, though. It's longer range, so we'd be able to start shooting earlier by 120 meters. And we would still have 1.5 tons left, which we would need to spend on ammo for the LRM, which, yeah, that's 12 shots. So that's plenty of ammo. We have clan armor, so we only have, what is it? Case 2 quick sell, so we can't actually put case 2 on the LRM ammo. But obviously we would put it on the side we're trying to not point at the enemies. And then we have half a ton. Which... I mean, then again, one recoil isn't that much. And it's 20 additional damage. That's significant. That is significant. And it would be able to fire into melee. So, this is dropping our short-range damage from the SRM-6 Valiant's 6 times 9, which, yeah, it's 54, right? Maths. Up to 70. And then the Snub-Nosed PPC has damage fall off past 390 meters, so if we're firing at max range, 780, then it's only doing 30 damage. So this gives us a lot more range, but it gives us less crit chance. And with the snub, I feel like... Because here's the thing, if we're not punching, as we approach to punch, we're actually very easily, you know, just moving and shooting and taking damage, because that's what we're primarily built for, is just soaking damage. And this is an example of why having more stuff to be able to mess with is usually a good call. Actually, while I'm thinking about it, have we looked at the store? We have 1.6 million C-bills. Have we looked at the store? Yeah, we did look at the store. Okay. There's an SRM-6. There's a heat bank, which the heat bank would be nice to have. If we end up needing it, I will grab it. But until we need it, we have 13 days before the financial report to figure out what our, you know, money situation looks like. We do still have mechs to build. So, drop the SRM-6 Valiant, max armor, drop the snub, put in the enhanced LRM-10, oops, enhanced LRM-10, along with a bin of ammo. It's a marginal improvement. Oh, dropping the AMS, right, dropping the AMS. Yeah. Oh. Was I trying to build with the AMS still there? No, I wasn't. Okay, because 6 tons would put us half a ton over. So basically the options are large laser, which is consistently 40 damage up to 600 meters. And honestly, once we get close and start punching, the weapon damage isn't our primary source of damage, I don't believe. I think even a 45-ton short, like, in melee is going to do more than 60 damage. So this is mostly to fire while we're getting close, and then the LRM, the enhanced LRM, is going to be, you know, the main thing we're shooting after punching. So that is an option, which gives us about half a ton to mess with, and again, we can't really use any of this at all. But at least we wouldn't have any recoil, so there's that. We still have the blue shield armor system to soak damage, so there's that. I mean, the XL gyro saves us so much tonnage. Even though it would save us more tonnage on a heavier mech, for now this is one of the heaviest mechs we have, so it stays for now. We could maybe change... Nah. Changing the armor would be a whole thing. But yeah, I'm fine with him being cockpit hot seat. It's very useful to have the cockpit hot seat with the combat shield, since the extra 2 hexes of move allow us to have the combat shield deployed. How's our heat look? Our heat should be fine. Heat delta -32. The cockpit hot seat, when it's active, generates 30, and the blue shield, when it's active, generates 12. So 42 heat is being generated when we have both of them active, which means we have a delta of 10 with both active. But obviously we're not going to be able to keep both active every round, so it should be completely fine. Should be a complete wash. I mean, if we drop the searchlight, that gives us 6 tons instead of the 5 for the large laser. Quicksell LBS has 4 recoil, tonnage 7. Large pulse laser, tonnage 7. So basically it would just give us the snub, which, as I already mentioned, at longer ranges we're doing more damage. Well, at max range we're doing more damage with the large laser. And the snub can go on a different mech that, you know, is going to be much faster getting in closer. But honestly, we're not building any of those mechs, and it's less money, less time to just keep the snub for now. How do we save half a ton? I mean, we could just strip the armor down a good bit. That's, I mean, half a ton of armor is a lot. Or we could just drop the searchlight. And I think that is the answer. So, altogether, we've slightly increased our damage at point blank when we're meleeing. But more importantly, we've increased our range. So while we're moving, using our combat shield to get closer and into position, we're soaking a ton of damage. I feel like it's better. It's also 18 days. Oof. And honestly, in 18 days, we might have better options. So, what does it look like if I don't replace the SRM? And still 50... Is it just the armor and repairs that's taking all this time? Hold on. I need to test that. So, stealth. Obviously, dropping stuff is 0 days. And we're definitely dropping all of that, period. So, I'm going to validate that just to get the stuff out of the way. So this is going to give us a full understanding of what we need to do. 1 day for the repairs. Yeah, it's just maxing the armor. That's 15 days. Yeah, because we got shredded. And I think this is the call, is just to leave it repairing and then figure out what to do with it in 15 days. Once we have a more full understanding of what all we have to work with at that time. So, we're going to do that. We're going to do exactly that. That's 15 days. So, we've got the line holder, which I believe, if memory serves, will be combat ready in 9 days. Calcifer, Bushwhacker, Stormcrow, 323. We have 2 mech bays working at 100% efficiency. We have the Chaucer and the Scorpion. So, in order to drop a full strength squad, we only need 4 mechs. We have the Urban Knight, the Incubus, and the Phoenix Hawk. So that's 3, which means we only actually need 1 more to be able to successfully drop on a mission. And we can either have Calcifer and the Bushwhacker, or Calcifer and the Stormcrow, or the Stormcrow and the Bushwhacker at the same time. Alternatively, we can put 3 days into either the line holder or Tonka as we get one of the 3 ready during the fatigue. And I think, especially since I don't remember what we did to the line holder, and if it's actually combat ready, I think I'm going to save working on those until we travel again. So, since the Bushwhacker only needs 2 days, we're going to finish whatever and the Bushwhacker and get 1 day on the other. And I think... You know what? I want to see what Calcifer has, so... We have to wait 3 days. 1, 2... Yeah, go for it, Hellion. Okay, so she has an injury, but she got athletic, so... She'll be out for a little bit, but... +1 bonus health is very nice to have, and faster fatigue recovery is really cool. So, that is absolutely worth it. And we still have plenty of people to drop. That's not a concern at all. Oh, wasn't I looking at traveling? I don't recall. It's been a minute, and I got sick since I last recorded. So, I think we'll just stay here, drop on some missions, have a good time. So, we need to finish work on Calcifer 1 day. Pause. Alright. If Calcifer Calcifer has the Inferno missiles. Okay, so it is the Stormcrow then, I believe, that needs the Inferno missiles. But it's currently still being worked on, so we will drop on a mission with what we have available. Again, I kind of want to get the heat bank, but at the same time, I could put that money towards mechs. So the decision is, really, if I buy the heat bank, I'm committing to staying here until I have probably another full financial report worth of funding, or, you know, missions that I've dropped on. And in addition to, you know, dropping on all the missions, I will need enough money to build the Chameleon and Incubus, as well as finish refitting the Stealth, continuing upgrading the Argo, because that's something that I've been neglecting while I try to get this stuff built. Because really the out-of-combat systems just come down to budgeting and figuring out where to put the resources you have and when to put them there. So, I mean, I'm 20 minutes into the recording, but I can look for a quick mission. Battles could be quick or could be, you know, very not quick. Escorts tend to be longer. Defend bases are definitely longer. So if I want quick, I'm probably going to have to go for a battle and just hope that it's just a single lance. Yeah, so I mean, 2 skull against local government. Yeah, this should be quick. And since it's 2 skull, it doesn't have the most C-bill payout, but it's local government. So once again, no clue if it's going to be valuable or not. But since we're kind of hurting for even basic stuff like SRMs and LRMs, I think we still go full salvage here, and we're good for the financial report if things go wrong. So we can afford to be a little greedy for salvage until things, whatever, stuff and things. And like I said, this is only a 2 skull mission. We have a 4 skull mission and a 3.5 skull mission that we can go for more money on. While yes, the enemies dropping will be better, it's just a matter of, like, we're gonna have much higher money payouts even if we just go 1 or 2 ticks. So yeah, and then specifically this 3 skull battle is going to be very interesting to go salvage on because it's max salvage 315. So a battle that has less max salvage, like especially this one that's 211, those are going to be like higher value stuff than the 419. So I mean, honestly, that's actually a reason to go more money here, because we know this is going to have A, less good salvage than the other battles, and B, it's against planetary government. So if we like super low roll and we're just against a single lance of enemies that bring junk, you know, I think I'm happy taking 1 million C-bills and 211. I think that's fine. Then again, it's only 300,000. See, this is the trouble with planetary government. If it was any faction, like any Intersphere faction, or if it was Republic of the Sphere or something, I would definitely go for more salvage. But the fact that it's planetary government, I am just going to go straight down the middle. 2 priority picks, kind of hoping that they don't have anything too impressive going on. Chaucer, Scorpion, Horic was Scorpion? Yeah, Horic was Scorpion. And then we have the Phoenix Hawk, Calcifer, the Incubus, as well as the Urban Knight. And for a battle, the Urban Knight is actually super interesting to bring because it does have the combat shield and the glazed armor. So we can start training an AM or a melee Mechwarrior on it. It does also have very high movement. 914, it might be able to benefit, but Sarge is 100% the cloak pilot. The ECM shield and probe is really good in addition to stealth, and she's already dropped on it 6 times, so we are, you know... Wait, what? Plus 0.3 cluster to ballistic weapons, 20% called shot chance. Oh, yeah. That's good. That's actually really good with the AP Gauss rifles. Oh, heck yeah. So, massive increase to clustering, called shot chance increased, offensive push accuracy increased with the AP Gauss rifles. So, when they're open and we're specifically trying to crit out one location, having 20 affinity on cloak is going to be amazing. So yeah, Sarge definitely dropping there. Now, what? What are we doing here? Like PVCs and AMS, so Lucky would be really good to have. Oh, cockpit interface. Hellion's the only one that can pilot it, huh? Like, Hellion is legitimately the only one we have that has the pilot ability, or the ability, the neural interface thing. Yeah. Okay. Real quick, I'm gonna actually see if we have somebody who is a good candidate for leveling up to get Juggernaut. If we have literally anyone that can level up to get Juggernaut, without having to, you know, pay to respec. So looks like Jelly Roll is the only one that we could possibly. I mean, actually, yeah, he's. Wait, he dropped on the stealth, but he is not the one. No, he is not the one that we. Yeah. I mean, honestly, actually, he's fine for a melee. Yeah, he doesn't get bonus, like, damage for melee, but he is still contributing... Wait, plus 20 affinity with all light mechs. Cool. So yeah, he's 100% great to drop on the Urban Knight. Less stability damage taken. Yeah, okay. Cool. Jelly Roll is going to become Juggernaut. Jelly Roll is going to become our Urban Knight pilot. And then, once again, Oranos is going to be in the stealth. And then I think that's fine on everyone else. Alright. Cool. Back to it. Yep. Drop that. Oh, leave him. Drop in the Urban Knight. Drop Poker because nobody else can use the cockpit interface. And then drop the Cloak with Sarge. And then who is piloting Calcifer? Braver had one on the Incubus. Calcifer is Flamers and SRMs. So... Lucky would be good. I mean, yeah, Holdra dropped once already, or 4 times already in the Firestarter, and she's Reckless Lucky. Yeah, I think she was actually the Firestarter pilot before I took the sick leave from recording. But yeah, so I think that's the team there. Drop the Scorpion back in. Drop Horik back on the Scorpion. And yeah, call it. That's the mission. Let's go. Actually, looking at the recording time, I think the mission's gonna probably go too long to make this all one episode. So for now, that's been your episode of Roguetech for the day. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, have a good one.